Welcome back to TTS Daily Weekend Edition, Singapore Edition, Hungry Ghost Festival Edition. Remember yesterday I told you today we're not be covering any triggering stories, we're just gonna sort of chill. And so today, being the first day of the Ghost Month, Chinese culture believe today is a day of the first day of the Lunar 7 month, also the Hungry Ghost Festival where the gates of hell opens up for a whole month, okay? So we are going through some stories on Reddit Singapore. And you know what? Let's just get started. And yeah, don't mind me. I'm safely reading these stories where it's really bright outside and with all my protection on my neck, on my hand. So, if you wanna enjoy some scary, spooky stories, please have your protection ready at all times. Don't judge me. Okay, let's go. Alright, story number 1. Hungry Ghost Festival Singapore Edition. Spooky stories. Shared by Reddit user Shavtronics. Was working as a security supervisor for Tampines 1 about 8 to 9 years ago. Oh, Tampines 1. I like that place. Nice, cool place. At about 9:30 PM, I was sitting in the fire command center. What's that? Where all the CCTVs are. Oh, okay. So it's like the security guard outpost, right? And heard the door handle move and rattle. Wait, is something trying to go in? As if someone was trying to enter. Okay. The door was electromagnetically locked for security reasons. I glanced over to the CCTV facing the door, but there was no one there. And yet the handle was rattling. I went over to open the door. Oh my god, you really have guts to do that. I went over to open the door and only saw one of my officers glancing backwards. Asked him what he saw and he claimed there was a really old dude in rags trying to open the door. What? Oh my god. My hair is standing. Okay. He claimed there was a really old dude in rags trying to open the door, but when he noticed the officer, he stopped and quickly sprinted off. So this Reddit user Shavtronics opened the door that was rattling, didn't see anyone, but his officer glanced backwards and saw an old dude in rags. And the old dude actually saw the officer and sprinted away. So this is just like a homeless. Isn't this like a homeless? Old dude in rags? When we replayed the CCTV recording, all we saw was the officer glancing backwards. What? Okay, I'm getting creeped out. In the same place at about 6:30 AM, one of my officers was starting to do some partial opening for the mall so tenants and staff can start entering. Makes sense. I saw him on the CCTV and he was chatting away with someone at the rooftop. Take note, the management office is up there, so we switch on the escalators and open up the sliding glass doors. Okay. So apparently this, one of his officer, dude just woke up from a nap, so he was still groggy and doing the motions on autopilot as he was happily chatting in the direction of some empty benches. This does not sound good. When he came back to the FCC, which is the Fire Command Center, he was all, oh nah, it's just some Malay auntie, so we exchanged some small talk. Until I reminded him it was 6:30 AM and there shouldn't be anyone up there and there was no one on the CCTV. Oh my god. Wow, I'm getting creeped out reading this in a day. One more in the same DAM mall. I went out for a smoke break and when I came back into FCC, my 3 officers looked at me confused. Apparently they had been talking to me for the past 10 minutes until I entered the room. And they noticed my seat was empty. So who were they talking to? The 3 officers weren't really close enough to coordinate a prank and their reactions were pretty genuine, but I shrugged it off. Oh my god, this place is giving me the creeps, man. The hair on the back of my neck is all standing now. Whoa, alright. This was a lot to take in for the first story. There was like 3 separate incidents. People seeing apparitions that weren't there and the apparitions were even reacting to the officers looking at them, turning around and sprinting away. That was like a total homeless dude until the CCTV showed nothing. Another officer talking to a Malay auntie that shouldn't even be sitting there as it was only 6:30 in the morning. And lastly, someone was like a doppelganger of a total clone, a ghost clone of this Reddit user Shavtronics. And they had been talking to him for the past 10 minutes. Oh my god, this is wild. This whole thing could be a script for a movie, I tell you. Okay. And then there was a reply here by Reddit user. I think I can't say the name of this Reddit user because the name sounds a bit offensive. So he or she replied, they replied, that area dirty ASF. 2013, 2014, I was headed back towards 800 plus with my friend. I think 800 plus is referring to the block number, Tampines area. The paranormal activity happened in between Tampines Mall and Century Square. There is a small alleyway. That alleyway has a lot of stores, I remember. Are we talking about the same alleyway? I used to frequent the area. We walked that alleyway where the old Starbucks used to be. Okay, I think I know. After we crossed the entrances of the mall, we immediately look at one another like we know something dirty was there. You're probably doing this late at night, right? There was no context of time there. But we soldiered on because we were too tired to detour, but we continued walking. That sounds like a terrible idea and how every horror movie starts off. Just take the detour, okay? When we reached the traffic light, we thought everything was all good. But hell no, bro. DOG sia. I turned over to my friend, the figure right beside me. What? When I say right beside, like right beside bro, the height is up to my shoulder, long hair, white body. Oh my god. So he turned around to look at his friend and he saw something that is slightly shorter than him, long hair, white body, about his shoulder length. Oh my god. I actually wanted to look to my shoulder, but okay, I think I'm not gonna do that. Of course, I scared lah. I run towards the road. Bro, I almost kena banged by taxis, yeah. And the thing was, we never hear the taxi. And it's this brand of taxi. Okay, you all can read it. If anybody remembers the engine, damn noisy one. Bro, at night, we never even hear anything or see the beam of the taxi. I mean, yeah, there's this saying, 鬼遮眼, 鬼挡墙. They can close your eyes, close your ears, so you don't even notice your surroundings. Yeah, but all G, my friend Pang saved me after that and I waited till daybreak and then I went home. Edit, I'm getting goosebumps here writing this. I'm getting goosebumps reading this. Looks like that area is really creepy, yeah. So, I know some of you all like to do hunts, activities at night. You all shouldn't be doing it during this month. But even though I'm warning you all not to do it, I know some people still do it for the thrill. You've been warned. Alright, that was story 1, follow up with a reply, sort of a story 2. We're gonna do 2 more stories here that I just saw and it's concise and creepy enough to share. Story 3. Was doing guard duty at Tekong Ferry during my BMT days, buddied with a Malay campmate. It was around 3 AM. Buddy had to use the restroom, so I was standing all alone, half falling asleep when suddenly a very chilling wind passed me, followed by a sinister whisper from a male voice. 你不想活了吗? Oh my god. Which translates to, you don't want to live anymore. A sinister male voice. I woke the duck up and ran to the restroom to find my buddy. Didn't say a word to him, cause needed to borrow his flame, so just pretend to borrow a lighter, I guess. Wow. This kind of incidents where people describe they hear a voice right next to their ear whispering and a very sinister voice. This kind of thing is like, it's like the stuff of nightmares, Most people have encountered this kind of scenario, but in their nightmares, I'm sure some of you have nightmares where you can hear people whispering in your ear, right? But this is an account of it happening to them in real life. This is the last story of the day, special TTS edition for the Hungry Ghost Festival. Spooky stories from Singapore, courtesy of Reddit Singapore. Follow us for more. Story 4. I've heard a similar voice at Lucky Plaza, upper level. Was queuing to enter the bathroom, one of the old school ones where you have to give the old aunties coins to enter. I remember that we have to give like 10 cents or 20 cents to enter the bathroom. I remember Lucky Plaza with the queue. I remember that, do you? I heard a weird creepy whisper right by my ear. How Mei Li, with breath and all. I thought to myself, who the duck speaks like this? I turned behind and I glared at the guy behind me, but he's on his phone and 2 meters away. Would it be him? I thought it was weird, almost impossible, but that was the only explanation. So this happened when she was still queuing outside, okay? So it's possible near the toilet queue there was another guy. Even though it's weird, why was he like near the toilet on his phone, When we got to the toilet, I complained about the man being a pervert to my friend. She looks at me confused and says she was facing his direction the whole time and the so-called pervert never opened his mouth or moved. So who was the one that said, how may live into this lady's ear with breath, you know? Like the third story where he felt the wind passing. He can even feel the breath. Wow. GG. Alright, that's it. Let me know if you enjoyed this. If yes, next week probably we could do another similar weekend edition, you know? Maybe this time Malaysia edition.